I'm Tony Blauer. This is the Tactical Spear.
All right, Tony, the tactical spear, I've heard you mention it a couple times. Can you break that down for me?
Yeah, sure. So you've noticed in a lot of the demos when the flinch deploys, the hands come out, and as the hands come out, they actually pull the forearms out. So this is once again a reminder why we call it spear is when the hands come out, it's a loose shape of a spearhead. The metaphor is I want to be impaling the attack. We have a maxim that's a good one to remember that sometimes at extreme close quarters, moving away from danger can put you in more danger. So if we're fighting in an elevator and you do a slow haymaker at me, if I move, you can, with a little body English, lean in there and clip me. But if you start to do that punch and I go flinch and I step in here, even if you clip me, you haven't had a chance to turn it over, right? So, learning how to move in there, it's counterintuitive. You got to practice it. That's what the whole weaponizing and the start of flinch is. But where the tactical spear comes in play is a lot of times when somebody throws something at you. It could be a baseball bat, it could be a crowbar, a knife. When you flinch and move in towards the threat, your forearms actually intercept a whole bunch of things serendipitously. And we'll bring Casey in here to demo this here real quick, unless you want to do it.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Right, we like
He's getting paid the big bucks,
right? So we're in here like this. So what we've noticed a bunch of times here is this. Come stand over here a sec. Moving a little closer. I'm here like this. Do a slow. I'm talking to Casey. He goes to headbutt me. I flinch. Right. The hands come up. What does it hit? It'll hit the forearm. Remember the forensics talk, right? Knife fight, slashing on the forearm. Going through car windshield, cuts on the hand. He does I'm talking him down. He goes and throws a right hook punch. Right. So I'm over here like this. The hands come up and intercepts the blade. I'm in a different non-violent posture. He throws a left hook, right? I'm over here like this. For the purpose of the camera, tackle me this way, right? The hands come out. I go, shit, where? So I'm deploying that. So the forearm actually intercepts, and it could hit him in the sternum, it could hit him in the face, it could hit him in the radial nerve. The beauty of this, we talk about in a sudden violent encounter, and I've been saying this for decades, man. The biggest mistake most people make, and it's why I believe people lose sudden violent encounters, is because they fixate on technical training instead of tactical application. So we remind people, don't confuse technical with tactical. There's a time to hone and finesse your skills, but where I might want to go, boom, and hit the guy with a straight punch, and then punch him in the throat, and then grab him here and sweep his leg. If I'm in this moment trying to defuse it, and he throws a punch, and I'm like, shit, this is not the time to go, oh yeah. Right now, I am on the guy, so here's where we would deploy a tactical spear. The tactical spear is where I'm recycling my kinetic energy and I'm firing with what we call closest weapon, closest target. So all I would do, hold that position, all I would do is almost like I am a Benelli shotgun and I'm fucking ejecting and I'm reinserting that round. So I just go here, pop, and it just drives the guy. Whatever's in front of him, and I'll show you something here. Just stand like this here. I'm going to put my forearm on Casey's sternum, right? I'm finger splayed, I'm outside 90. Now check this out. From this position here, all I'm gonna do is fire my forearm as if I'm doing a jab with my forearm. Watch the whole system come together. Here, dead weight, so I'm here like this, and I go, right? And I get that. I just move him back a few feet. And that was just this motion. It's almost like cross-checking with my hand, like a hockey cross-check. So I've got to move the elbow and move the arm. That's a bit of a complex motor skill, but no big deal, easy to learn. Jabbing with your forearm. So instead of me doing this, I'm doing that and jabbing with the forearm. Why does that make sense? Is that Casey reaches for a knife and I go, shit, and I'm on him here, look where my hand goes. Wham, that next shot, I'm blasting him in the soft tissue in the throat. Or I'm over here and I'm driving him down on it. I'm using that as I'm pinning this hand, I'm using this arm. But imagine if I was trying to do, remember that move we all learned in martial arts? Get your thumb on the third metacarpal bone here, drive the pinky back towards his elbow, then step here, don't tear the rice paper. Beautiful, I love Kung Fu movies. That's not happening in a real world fight. So, check this out, moving a little bit more. I just did this demo. Now what I'm gonna do is from here, I'm gonna step back into my spear stance, right? So now I'm in this position. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fire the forearm and drive my torso. Remember how far he moved last time? So now it's this. Got twice as much distance, and you can hear his oxygen getting expelled out of his lungs. There's a little, right, reset in. Now what I'm gonna do from here, I reset the same thing again, outside 90, finger splayed, facing the threat. This time here, I'm gonna fire the forearm, drive my torso, but I'm gonna sink my knees into it, right? Now I got an extra 2 feet on him, but look what I'm doing. This is actually the practical illustration of what Bruce Lee's 1 and 3 inch punch was about driving through, but I'm not doing hips like Bruce did, I'm doing quarter extremity. The spear is actually like the split jerk of self-defense. This is this, you know, a split jerk is, but this is this motion, but we're not doing the hop. So imagine that. I just created 5 feet of distance with Casey without any violence, without any fear, without any energy, just being on him from here and driving and coming through there and resetting that position. Imagine, stand there again, imagine if I was over here and I took a step back and I was walking towards the guy like this, and now I step in 1 step, dead body weight. So I'm here like this, I step in and I fire, but now I've got a little momentum. And we get that. So if you do that on the fly, like you're scared, he throws a haymaker at me and I'm like, oh fuck, wham, and I nail the guy like that, and I go right through him. There's big impact. Now what happens after that again, another punch again. So if I do this here like this, and you guys can't see this, let's rotate here. As unprofessional as that was, we rotate here, I'm like, fuck. Casey is trying to body lock me now. I'm like, fuck, right? I recycle this, slam, and there's that. I'm using, again, primal gross motor. Once I feel that he's stunned and I can feel him, I can at that point there drop an elbow or bring that knee up here or sweep the guy. I can go into the more complex motor skills, but I want people to think about the spear system as the Maslow's hierarchy of needs of self-defense, and the bottom tier is survival. If you don't weather the ambush, it doesn't matter how good you are with all of the complex motor skills.